Hello and welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be going through Sovereign City Golf Links course guide. This is the course for week 7 of TGC Tours Challenge Circuit. Now, to give you a bit of background of me, I play on the Kinetic Circuit, which is the first professional league. It's my world ranking is just outside the top 300, slowly improving. But I would say I'm an average player. I'm a lot like you. Just going to tweak that a little bit. Yeah, I don't hit perfect shots all the time, which is why I think I'm a good person to actually follow. And for these sort of coursing, I'm just adjusting the volume on the microphone as we talk. So good person to follow because yeah, the way I play the game is the way probably you play the game. I'm not like the Corkses of the world or the Steves who hit the ball perfect the vast majority of the time. I'm not even an apex hound, so hopefully you can learn from how I tackle this course. I played it a couple of times already. I think the scoring is going to be relatively low. You're going to be around, I think, 10 under par or something like that. It's going to be a okay score, good score. I think the cut will probably be about 8 under. So let's jump into it and have a look at this course details and the yardages. It's not a massively long course. I mean, off the back, it's about 7,500 yards, which is a really good test. Not a lot of difference between the front and the back, so you're not going to see that. I think the big challenge on this course will be the speed of the greens, which are about 170, 171, which is fast. That's right there at the top end. But you've got a lot of the par 5s look like they're not reachable. They are. So, they're about 600 yards, it says on there. You can see 592, 609, 601 from the tips. It actually, because of the way they've been designed, they play a little bit shorter than that. There are some of the par 5s you're landing onto a downslope is going to throw the ball forward. So I think every par 5 is reachable as long as you are hitting the fairways, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. It looks like the microphone volume is still a touch loud, so I'm going to try and just position that there, and that looks like it's a little bit better. Yeah, please do let me know in the comments, in the chat, how it's standing, and I'll go back and edit this afterwards as well. What I'm going to do once I've got this this live stream up is I'm going to go at timestamps so you can go exactly to the point you want to. So let's get into the course as well. There are 4 pin positions and 3 tees. So I'm going to play probably 2 rounds. We'll play one off the back tees, which we'll do now, so you can see what a test is like from there. And I'll just let it pick its own. Let's go for tees 1 so we can see that. We'll do tees 1s and tees 4 maybe. So let's get into it. And any questions, please do ask. Just shout out any sort of questions at all. I can see we've got one person who's trying to get in but not necessarily getting in, but again, this will be up there as a video afterwards. I'm doing it in this format really just to make it a little bit easier on me. Well, that's great, it's not actually working. All right, let me just do this and see if that helps. No. Right, hang on one sec. Oh, I love it when the controller, it's not registering at all. I don't know if you get this with your game as well. Alright, let me come all the way out. It does this every now and again where it just doesn't actually feed the controller. Just a quick thing on the controller, I'm using a standard Xbox. I am on Xbox, which means that, yeah, I'm screwed because of the parsing, which is not so good. If you are using a standard Xbox controller, make sure you plug it in. Just, even if it's a wireless one, plug it in on a wired, as a wired controller. You will find that you'll get a much better consistency as a result. It's just works better that way. To do with the parsing, it's not something I necessarily completely understand, but it just limits down and makes it a much better and more consistent if you do that. All right. Let's get back to the course, and yes, I know I've got no backspace. So let's set up again the same way. So we're going to go for the back tees, and I'll try and cut some of this out, and we'll go for hole 1 when we get to the full video. Welcome to the stream. Please do shout out with any questions you might have. This is your opportunity to ask about this course before you actually get to play it in TGC Tours Challenge Circuit. And hopefully now, yeah, it looks like it's working. First swing of the day. Now I typically actually set this up so I hit slide fast most shots. I just like that because it's just, you know, I always prefer to have a consistent shot. I can then hit a fade if I want to, that slide slow, but it's just, I've calibrated this for me and how I want to play it. So this first hole, the great thing is, even off these back tees, because you've got that 18 yards, you can hit about 6 yards longer than the actual fly. You should just about be able to clear that as long as the wind is not into your face. Well, as long as you hit a good swing as well. So let's see how it goes. All right. And there we go. Not sure the sound on the video is good, but let's do it now. So you saw it would have cleared it. It does bounce pretty straight. I'm not getting much sound on the video capture. So I'll look at that afterwards because I don't want to screw around with this too much while we're doing it. If there's no sound on the game, I will work that out later. But it's not going to kill us because that's not the important bit. So this green, as I said, so you've got 3 yards. It's going to fly a little bit further. It's actually not a bad green because you've got a few of it is sort of pushing it into the pin. So even if you mishit it, you're probably going to have a reasonable putt, but it's going to be fast. So I'll stick with that with the 9-iron. All right, it's going to come out a little bit short. Just caught it a little bit slow. All right, that's good. And we have a look. So the false front doesn't quite run off. So we've got a bit of right to left brake on here. So you can see there the green speed 171. So these are fast. I'm not going to change anything on this one. So you can get a feel, the first few putts, you can get a feel for just how fast they are. All right, just missed there. But you can see how far past that went. I didn't do anything. It felt like it was close to the 100%. I mean, a good 2-putt par, but it's, yeah, your big challenge, I think, actually, on this course really is going to be those greens. They're going to be a little bit tougher. This second one, the big thing is do not mishit it into here. It really doesn't matter where you end up over on the fairway, as long as you're on the fairway, because it doesn't play that long, even though it's 510 yards. You go down here, there's no way in the world you're going to actually be making the green with it. All right, drew it a little bit. I think with the downhill it's going to be fine. I think that's the sort of drive you're going to be looking for. And it's, you know, with a lot of these ones, they have the fairways are quite nice and it's running away, and you're going to be hitting a little bit further, you know, sort of the 340, 350 yard off the tee. Playing into the green, you've got that ridge there on the front left, and you know, again, the pin when if it's back here, you've got a pretty good ridge and a little bit of a backstop. This is actually probably one of the harder pin positions because that ridge is going to throw it. As soon as it lands, it's going to push it forward quite heavily. 11 yards up, it's going to take off about 3 or 4 yards, but the wind is probably going to still get it there. So let's see about there. All right, did it clear the ridge? Just about, and then the ridge is going to help it on. So you can see that's probably the shot you want to try and play. is to land it into that ridge and let it run. You can put a bit of spin, maybe fly it a bit further, and if you land it on the other side of the ridge, might be even better. Not a huge amount of brakes. That one just behind the ball, of course, it's going to throw it to the left and start, and then it's going to drift a bit. But fairly straightforward putt from there for the birdie. A short, this is the shortest par 3. Now oddly, I think it's shortest from the back tees. Doesn't make sense, they flipped it around for some reason. I'm going to go with the sandwich. The wind is going to slope there, but you've got a bit of slope helping. It's a pretty easy green there because you've got all this flat area over here for different pin positions. Now I typically hit a little bit of a draw, so I'm going to ignore the wind and use that to almost like cushion it into the wind. Oh, hit it pretty straight actually, and the wind is going to take it away. Now, did it get over that slope? No, it didn't. So it needed a little bit extra to get there. So a tricky downhill putt. Again, 170. So this is a good one to look at. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. I think probably 3.5 to 4 off this, and allow for a little bit of extra brake because it's going to be so fast. There you go. That gives you a really good indication. That's almost 4 off it, and it still made it to the hole. And that's a great putt to go in. It's almost like I can play it again. This one is a good one. From the back tees, you're going to be playing, I think, a driver and just going for the green, 17 yards. You probably won't reach it, and you're more likely to end up in here. So maybe aim out to the right. Everything runs in from the right-hand side. So it's a good way to bring it in. The shorter tees is a tough one because a driver will probably go over the back, but that's not actually a bad miss. So see if I can hit this up that right hand side there. Just let it go a little bit in the wind. So it's going to end up probably in the bunker. Now, I think the difficult thing on this hole is the fact it's kind of like on a ridge, the whole thing. So we look at it, you've got a big drop off of the back right there, and you have a big drop off from the front right. So when the pin position, and it will be here on one of the days, that's quite a tough one to get close. This one is probably your easiest, because as long as you can get over this part, you've actually got nothing all the way to the back of the pin. So we can lose 70, it's a 73% shot, but I always tend to overhit these, but it is 9 yards up. I'm going to aim a little bit because I just, yeah. The bad miss is to go right on this one. Oh, completely missed it. Alright, chipping for the par then. Up and down for the par. That was a very bad one. Alright, almost got it. I think you're going to probably face with a few of these sort of putts as well, of relatively long. I mean, it's uphill, so give it a little bit extra. And there you go. So not bad, 2 under for your first 4, that's okay. Actually open the coffee cup helps. Any questions, do ask about anything at all. Anything about my setup or anything like that. Now this is an interesting hole because it puts you down further like this. You look at that green, if you're playing over here, it's going to leave you all the water to go across. Now, the pin is far enough away from the water, it's not a bad one. But why not just take it completely out of play? And I think actually the shot on this one, it's just to hit a nice race. It's inbounds. There's no out of bounds down this side. There you go. So you got a nice flat, you got a little bit of water here, but that's really not in play. And I'm just basically playing to, to the pin. It's up 7, so I'll lose a couple of yards. The wind will probably help it back again. But to me, that feels like a much better route in, actually. So I'm going to play for a little draw on it. Yeah, no, they're fade. God. It's going to be pretty good, though. I overhit it just a touch. I think that's a much safer, particularly when the pin is sort of towards the back of the green on the left. You're taking all that water out of play, and that's got to be a much easier shot in. One thing, if anyone wants me to hit any shots to different parts of holes, let me know. So we can see, okay, what would happen if we went over here. So slightly uphill. Oof. All right. All right. I think that's definitely a birdie hole. You've got to get the distance right getting there, but that's a much better play, I think. So this one, yeah, you see, I think the bunker from here is definitely out of play. Let's try it so we can see, because you're down 5, so you're going to fly it just a touch further with the wind. Now, if the wind is in your face, play it over here. There's plenty of room. But let's try this so we can see, okay, with tiny amount of wind, will it clear it? And comfortably. Yeah, absolutely comfortably. I did 101, but that is clearing that easily. So yeah, definitely you can go for that one over the top. Thanks everyone for being here. This is brilliant. First live stream on this channel. I probably will do more in the future. At the moment I'm recording. Let's just focus. Let me focus on this and we'll come back to that. So we've got 153, up 3, it's going to lose a bit, the wind's going to help. Don't really want to go long. The good thing actually, one thing I noticed on this course, you see here, is it seems to have light rough around, sort of a cut of it before you get into the heavy rough. So if you're not going too far off, you're still going to have a very makeable, very hittable shots, because you're only going to be losing that sort of 5% out of the light rough. I'm going to try and hit the 140 with the wind, see if it will chase out there a little bit. Pulled it. Alright, that's the first hook. Now, does it? Yeah, it's not going to bounce off there, but I think if it a little bit left there, actually wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad miss. So we're downhill a little bit. So I'm taking just a touch off it there. Alright, broke just a little bit more on that. Alright, so on to the first of the par 5s, and as I said at the start, while the par 5s on paper are quite long, this is I think one of the shorter ones. Now let's see, 619. Now it's the wind that's going to be the big difference. Yeah, with the wind into the face, this might not be reachable. With the wind with, it's very reachable. It's only a drive and a hybrid. Alright. So that's a good hole. I mean, that's a fairly tight driving hole. But I think as long as you keep it out of that bunker, you'll be fine. From here, yeah, you're not getting up. So you really want to lay up there, and we've got to clear that with the wind. That's a little bit tight for my iron. So I'm probably going to go with the hybrid. Hit it there, hopefully with a bit of draw, end up here and leave myself like the 67 yarder in. Alright, don't forget about the slope though. Under my feet. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so left to right off there, left to right off there. Now, the challenge I think on this one really is the pins quite often are stuck over on this side, and coming in from here with those humps here, makes it really tough to go for the green. I think you're really much better than to be playing for this part of the green when you're going for it into it. Obviously today, not an issue. So we've got, I think actually that's not bad. I need a little bit extra on it. I should make that a little bit extra on it because of the wind. And it's going to turn a little bit more. I'm anticipating I hit my normal draw, which I haven't been so far. Yeah, it went along my swing path was off there and it flew. Wow, that really threw 103 into the wind. Okay, all right, so this is not a great hole. Challenge here is you really got to clear that slope, or it's going to kick way to the left. Yeah, that's good. Oof. All right, that's disappointing par, but hey, at least there was no real troubles on it. So a shortish par 3, quite tough because it is. I mean, that pin is only 5 squares on from the front, and the wind coupled with the fact you're going uphill. So the uphill is going to lose you about 4 yards. The wind here today will probably add that and a little bit more. I think this is the safe shot though. I don't want to go down anymore because if you leave it short, if you put it down here, that is, yeah, that's not going to be an easy shot. Oh no, and I've probably just done that. No, actually it's going to work out. The dodgy fade or slow is actually not too bad. Let's see if it comes off that slope. I mean, even then it ran too far. You need to put a bit of spin on it. It's not a bad putt. So if you can get it a little bit closer there, I mean, if you can leave the ball anywhere here, that is a very straight putt. As it is, we've got a little bit of break at the start. Does move back just a bit. I always tend to, that line just in front of the hole, I tend to ignore them somewhat because by the time it gets there, it isn't going to turn enough to actually bring it. Yeah, if it's outside the hole at that point, it's missed. So really the important thing here is trying to judge this start. Yeah, the slope that I'm on is the big bit. Didn't quite, just on the right edge. Yeah, didn't quite. All right, a lot of putts just sliding past the edge at the moment. You make some of those and you're good. Hey, great to have so many people on it. Thank you so much. Really good to see you. So this is the second par 5, and this is what I mean about, yeah, a lot of the par 5s, they're long, but this one's got a nice downslope. If you land on that downslope, you're going to shoot it forward and you're going to be driving 340, 350. Yeah, I think it's just going to hit on there. See it bounce, yeah, scoots forward, and now it's got that run, and that brings basically all the par 5s into range as long as they're not into the face like the first one was. There you go, 375. Makes it a lot easier from there, so don't be too worried about this. Now this is really interesting because you go straight at it, there is no green to land it on, but there's a ridge here and another one there. So I think if you can get it coming in here, turning a little bit left to right, and you got a bit of back spot stop there, you can get it pretty close to the pin, taking that bunker, and also it means you can land it about here, which means you've got a chance to actually stop in time. Otherwise, you go for the pin from here, that is going to go all the way down and leave yourself a really tricky chip back. So let's try and go with the 212. Try and hit it. Hopefully I don't overdraw it, which is my typical shot. But we'll see if we can. Yeah, good one. No. Oh no, actually it's pretty good. I thought I'd underhit it. Alright, so can it catch this second slope? Does, but it doesn't really turn it that much. So I think it's a tough pin to get close to, that one that's stuck over that bunker. I mean, fine if you're playing it in 3, but for your second shot, you're probably just going to run through. Or you need to put a lot more hook on it than I did. From here, though, I mean, it's not too bad. It's running away with you. It's one of those ones where it says it's flat, but you're landing on a downslope, so it's going to run. And with the greens 170, this could get away from you quite easily. Pulled it. Ding. Not good. All right. Not too bad though. Just pulled it, and that takes it past. Oh my God, that turned. Huh. All right. Didn't see that. It turned a lot more than I thought it would. Alright, this one I think your best is to actually go for it. You could lay up, but yeah, this thing, you got a massive hump on the right there, which means that if you hit anywhere around here, it's going to kick it in towards the pin. And if you miss hit it, well, it goes in the bunker, goes into that rough. You still then got a shot over no water. Lay up, it's not an easy, that's an intimidating shot. I mean, the layup, you're going to have to lay up probably back to here. It's not a bad shot, but it's, you know, one of those nervy ones. I just think it's good for them. Off the forward tees, I actually went with a 3-wood and tried to land it sort of around here and run it in. I didn't go for the pin per se, because really then you're bringing all this water in. So let's try there. Pulled it. Right, so that's the pull. So let's see what the sort of shot from there is. Actually, it's going to hit the third. Probably not be too bad at all. Just makes it into the heavy. So this is your bad shot. And you've got 67, 71 yards downhill, so it adds on a yard. You're taking off 15%, well 20% really. So it's going to land about 63. Slight upslope there, it's going to be landing into. I think I'm just a little bit worried about it lands into there and kills it, but you don't want it to run too far past. The good news is you've got a slight backstop. The wind's, it's going to move it a touch, but not much. I think maybe this one, and just give it a little bit of a run. Let's see if it makes it. Alright, so how does that roll out? Yeah, not too bad. And look, if you think you can hit it closer from laying up, great. But yeah, getting with an 11 foot with, you know, slightly mishit drive, I think is the play. Alright, back on track. Annoyed about missing that par on the par 5. Anyway. This is an interesting hole. You've got a ridge running there between the two bunkers that will kick the ball to the right. So for me, I kind of feel like it's, okay, hit a little bit left to right, aim to land short of that bunker and just let the slope. And it takes the water completely out of play, hopefully, then. So it should, as long as that kicks you out, there you go, hits that slope, takes you down, and you've got none of the water to really worry about at that point. Giving yourself an uphill shot. The ridge is pretty nasty there. It's going to kick the ball away, and this is what's going to make it tough, and it's quite tough here. Is anything short, it's not going to make it. You probably want to try and aim for that backstop and just let it come back a little bit. But if it hits this, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Yeah. 18 yards, theoretically, will take 6 yards off the ball. I'm going to go with the same club, but just hit it a little bit stronger. Ideally, if it landed around here, it would be perfect. So I'm not going to put any spin on it. Actually, that wind's slightly into the fray. So let's give it a little bit more. We'll see what happens. just pulled it. Ah, all right, that'll be all right. All right, it's a pretty easy part. I mean, it's just off the right-hand side, and the good thing is, even though it's downhill, we're then going back into an uphill, so you can actually take a little bit of break off it by not changing the distance on this one. So that slope just behind the hole is worrying me. Behind my ball is worrying me, because whether it's going to shoot it to the left a little bit. Oh, I didn't. But a lot of those have just grazed the edge. Yeah. Okay, so not a bad green, because you've got it's almost like a bowl on the three sides. It's only the front bit drops off, but yeah, if you're short, you're in the water most likely. Actually, it'll probably hold up. We'll see. The challenge is 12 mph wind. I can probably go with the hybrid for me and just try and hit it there and let it drift in theory. Oh, that shot left. Yeah, my swing plane was ever so slightly off. Shame, that was the right distance. Alright, so if you miss there, you're okay, but it leaves you. This is horrible, horrible chip shot, because it's all running away from you out of heavy rough. I kind of think you've got to aim it up here, just to give you as much room as possible. Right. I don't know about this one. No, killed it. Oof. Alright, that's a tough one. Yeah, you don't want to. Do not miss the ball there, the hole there. It's going to leave you an almost impossible shot, and even now, getting up and down here is not going to be easy. I'm just going to do everything I can to try and stop the ball. Alright, not good. Right, that's probably a bogey from there. I'm happy with, but not a great round. You'd be a little bit worried. This one, off the forward tees, you're just blasting it because you can clear everything. Back tees, with the wind there it is. I'm just going to play it over to this side, try and leave himself a 3-wood to the green. Let's see. No, 3-wood, not with the wind. So we're laying up. Long hole with the wind like that. I don't want to get too close to the rough. There's not much point. Yeah, you get a wind conditions like this. It could be a tough on the first day. I think you should still be shooting about 8 under though. So we're up 22, so that's going to take 7 off the shot. The wind is going to take a bit more, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm trying to hit a hard gap wedge. Oh no, sorry, my thumb came off. Alright. Gosh, this is not going well. Let's see if we can get up and down for the par. Alright. Tap in, but not good enough. Let's see if we can go play a bit better. I'll tell you what, this is probably the same nerve-wracking this is. I have to think about it. At the moment, I'm doing all of my kinetic stuff. I'm recording the footage, but not live streaming it because, yeah, it's a different level when you're live streaming and people are watching. So we're in behind. It's a pretty easy, straightforward par four. If the wind was into your face, yeah, you're laying the ball up here, and it's going to leave you quite a long shot in. Every other tee, front tee, this is all clearable, so you're really aiming down the middle left, maybe with a touch of left to right on. Yeah, not the greatest swing, but certainly that'll do. I'll run all the way down to the bottom here. As long as you're hitting it, you know, that getting onto that slope, you're getting it all the way down. It leaves a very short shot to the green. So very helpful, you know, three sides pushing the ball in, but runs off the back. 8 foot's not going to do a lot. I mean, that's what, 2 to 3 yards you're going to lose off it, but the wind is going to have more on. So I think it's probably just a hard, slightly hard. I'm also on a down, so we're just going to fly the ball lower. Pushed it. Alright, come on. Get my nerves under control. At least you're seeing what the course is like in all the places not there, Deb. Okay, bit of break. I mean, I think you're going to find this with a lot of the holes, there's quite a bit of break on the greens. Right, good putt. Didn't deserve that, but hey, you got to take a few of those long ones. Alright, this is actually, I think it's quite tight. It's very easy to go into this rough over on this side, and that bunker off this tee is in play. Off the 4 tees, you can just blast it straight over the top of it. Could go with the 3-wood, but into the wind, it's going to leave me probably 160. You know, I mean, if you, I think probably the 3-wood is the play. Let's have a look. Let's see where it goes and how long that leaves in. Yeah, it's going to get up to 280, so it's going to leave me about 160, 180 with the angle. All right, so that's quite a long way, particularly into the wind, and this is not, that's not a great green for a long shot. You can see probably one of the pins is probably going to be back here, which is quite interesting because you've got a little slope there that will shoot it forward, but you've got this ridge here that will bring it back towards any pin with a drop off. You've then got a ridge there, which is going to stop any balls running past. You know, a big miss on this one would be to hit it over there. From here, though, you've got a drop off. You've got a little bit of a push in. I wouldn't call it a backstop, and everything is going left to right. But you're up 25 yards and into the wind. So 25 yards is going to add about 8 to 9 yards, well, just over 8 yards onto the shot. The wind is going to take off probably, you know, another 8 or so. Everything is pushing it right to left. All right. I think this is the right club. Yeah. All right. So that's the club. It's just a 1 club hole then with that wind. Quite a lot of break on this one. How many of those putts have just sort of slid past the edge? Okay. 16th. Lots of ridges. Yeah, if the pin's down here, okay, you can miss it in, it'll push it in. Same if the pin is back here, you got that ridge there. This one though, I think is probably the worst pin because anything right is going to drop off. 17 yards down, so you're gaining what, roughly about just over 6 yards, but then 11 mile per hour wind. I think you have to go up a club with that one. I'm sure. I'm going to take a tight. No, I'm not going to. I think it's a full out. And for me, because I tend to, my miss hit is a big draw to the right, I'm just getting a little bit there. The wind will bring it anyway. And actually, that's could be really good. Just a bit long. Should have taken that bit off. Alright. Fairly simple chip. It is running away from us a little bit. Now, obviously, it's going to just kick right to left when it lands a touch. So I'm just going to allow for that. Yeah. Alright, it's one of those days where it's just missing on everything. See if we can do a bit better off the front tees. So this one, you're really just trying to stick it anywhere in this area. It's a short hole. You know, off the front tees, you can go straight over here, but it's a short hole. You can see it's down 12, so you can add a little bit. The wind's behind, so I think I can probably go over here. But you can see there's a bit of a backstop just in front of the bunkers, which means that you shouldn't run out of fairway. Pulled it a touch, or drew it, but that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you can clear it completely. So it's a good one, just grip and rip it and don't worry about it. Big slope though. So that's going to shoot the ball to the left. Green's not bad actually. I mean, it's quite like, again, you got this ridge that's kind of running through there, which is going to make any putts around that ridge tricky. And there, when the pin's over here, you get a nice backstop. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not the easiest. 70 yards we're going to use, so we're going to lose about 6. But the wind is 8 miles per hour behind, which is probably going to pretty much cancel that out. I'm going to hit a little break, a little stop, because you can see you got that backstop. You go long and the ball is gone. Aim left, sorry, aim right. Get my which side correct because of the slope. Nah, slowed it. I felt that. Alright. Not good. Alright. Pretty flat putt. And it's into an upslope past the hole, so we can just go for it. A lot of break though again. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be making too many longer putts. Wow, that ran on. That is the challenge with greens this quick, is you get slightly aggressive on it, and it's gone. Alright, last hole, and I think this is quite a tricky par 4 off the backs. You know, you are downhill, but anything that leaks a little bit to the right, you're going to go into that bunker. It just kicks off, so you kind of got to start it down the left edge, I think. And I pulled it. That's gone. Alright, you'll see what I mean. Just runs on down. Might stop in the light rough. Yeah, off the back you're probably okay. Front 4 tees, any of the 4 tees, you're going to be into that bunker, and then, yeah, takes everything out of play. Not the easiest green to hit here. I can actually try and loft a 9-iron in. Everything's kicking right on me. You can see, you go long, the ball is gone, and that is just a horrible return from back long right. Actually, I think I need more. I'm just a little bit worried about this slope. Ah, and I did it. Right. Yeah, I did exactly what I said shouldn't do. So from down here, it's a tough shot. The only good thing about it is that you can, you can hit it hard because you've got the backstop playing. But I'm not even sure this will actually reach. Let's go something like this and see if I can just pitch it on the grass short, and then it's going to bounce in quite a lot from the left. Yeah, there you go. It's that's a tough shot from down there though. If you do end up down there, give it plenty, because the cardinal sin is to leave it short. Alright, so not a great round. That wouldn't be good enough. I think you off the back tees with the wind up, it probably 6 to 8 under is going to be okay and leave you a chance to make the cut. But really, I think 8 to 10 under, 8 under-ish, 8 to 10 under off the back tees, 10 under plus off the front tees. So let's have a look at the front tees so you can see the difference. And I will try and calm my nerves a little bit, and we will hit a few better shots. Okay, let's go for the 4-pin. See what they're like. Thanks again for joining me. Really great actually to have so many people on here for first stream ever really on this channel. Alright, so you can see here the challenge actually off the front tees is more the fact that the fairway does run out, but at that point you're only going to be 130 yards from the green. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter that much, albeit with the 4-pin directly over the bunker you want to hit the fairway. You could go with your 3-wood. If you hit it like mine about 260, it will fly a little bit further than that. It's probably not a bad shot because it takes that narrow neck out. So actually let's try that and see what it looks like. Got over it again. But, it's not too bad. The kick straight. And there's quite a lot, that's all light rough around there, so that's not too bad. So maybe that's the play off that tee. From here, what, we've got 157. I think the play is to try and land it softly, because that ridge is a bugger. It's going to make it very difficult to get the ball and stop it close. Alright, it's just gone a little bit too much. Not too bad though, but is it going to take that slope? Yeah. Yeah, it is. There you go. So if you go anywhere towards the right, it's just going to run off like that. Not bad, I mean, you shouldn't be bogeying from here, but it obviously takes the birdie, makes it tougher. But not impossible. Alright, so good start. Alright, so off the front tees, it's a lot friendly. You can really go all the way over here on it. Again, just avoid the miss it into this crap, because that will make it a very difficult par. Okay. Alright, runs into the light rough, but yeah, no problem. Bit of a right to left off that lie. Wind is helping, it's losing 5%, and you've got another 6 yards there. So you're about, you're losing about 11 yards off this shot. So I'm going to put a fair bit on there. I'm looking at this one because there's that slope kicking it. If it is a little bit short, I think it's going to run on anyway. So I'm going to aim on the pin, let the slope push it to the left, and hopefully the wind will bring it back. Ah, slowed it. Come on. Alright, let's see what that slope does though. See if it feeds the ball in. And it does. So I mean, that's a fairly friendly pin. and it's actually got a little bit of a backstop, so it's not going to run too far past. Fair bit of brake. Yeah, that line on my ball is going to throw it to the right, I think. Yeah, it did. Alright. And you can see again, with 171 greens, this thing is slick. Just be firm on the ones back. That's all I say. Play for the back of the hole on an uphill putt. That's one that should have made. This is the thing I was saying when we played this the first time around. Off the back tees it was 113. Off this one it's longer. But, yeah, it's still not a long hole. And with the downhill there, it's going to add about 5 yards onto this 131 carry. With a bounce, probably almost perfect. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing today, whether I'm hitting draws or that straighter shot. So let's play for it like this. And actually hit a slight fade. I'm just quitting on a little bit, just a little bit nervy at the moment. Right, it gives a putt. And that's interesting, it actually comes in a little bit from that side as well. That's not a bad miss. If you got the wind like that on this one on the front tees, you can miss it a little bit to the left and still leave yourself a very makeable putt. Alright, I'm going to hit it firmer so I'm not taking anything off it. Try and take a touch of the brake out. There you go. So, I mean, that's probably a good miss there, isn't it? Alright, so this is the short one. So as you can see, with a driver, I'm probably potentially going to actually fly it too far. But I don't actually think that's that bad a shot. The 3-wood still going to leave you, you know, particularly with the wind into your face. The wind's slightly with you. I think the 3-wood's to play because it would probably land about here, take that slope and come into the green. But with the wind into the face, I'm not going to get that. And actually, with the wind into the face, if I'm lucky, it's going to pitch into this bank. Let's try there. Just pushed it with the swing path a little bit. Alright. That's not bad though, because look, it's going to just run onto the green. Might go through. Yeah, it's probably going to hit that slide. That's not a bad chip from there. Yeah, that's going to leave you you an up and down, but it's not a horrendous one. Just got to make sure that you got to clear this bit of the ridge to get onto the green, and then you got to make sure that it just slams the brakes on, or it's going to go over the other side. Oh, almost missed it. That was so nervy. Right, come on. Gotta get rid of these nerves. Wow, look at that go on. This could be the best 5 you've ever seen. All right. Not good. I think after I've done a few of these, I think I'm going to continue doing these live because one, we can I can talk about more things, but also it just means I can focus on. I'm just going to draw it to make sure it gets over those. I can focus on trying to get some of my other content out, but hopefully I will get a little bit less nervous as I do more of these. Push draw, one of my favourites. Probably could have gone with the driver actually. Yeah, absolutely could have gone with the driver. But yeah, it leaves me a fairly short shot in. The wind is helping, so it's going to fly a little bit further. I actually think I probably can get there with the 139. I want to try and land it back here and let it run down that slope to the pin. I think that's probably pretty good. Let's see. I mean, you want to make sure you get it to the right side of the ridge. That could be good. Oh, it's just a bit short, isn't it? Alright, let's see how it runs down that slope towards the pin though. Yeah, just a little bit more, and I think that would be perfect shot into this green. I mean, you've taken the water out of play, which you've got to do. But you want to get it closer than that, because there's so much slope on this, it's ridiculous. Alright, good putt though. Alright, 355, so it's pretty I mean, it should have been, I think it should have been better, because definitely had a couple of chances, but... So this one, you're just blasting. Last time we cleared the bunker, but it wasn't by massive. Here, with particularly the wind, this is probably actually going to be within 100 yards of the green if I hit it okay. Yeah, 370 yards, so it's going to leave us 96. That's not bad. I mean, there's plenty of room around there. The wind is going to help it. It's going to lose 3 yards. I think it probably is just hit it as it is with this one. So I'm aiming about 8 yards short because of that wind. We'll see there. It's all right. Didn't quite fly as much as I thought it would, but you know, we got a good chance. Again, fair bit of break. You know, this is a makeable part. I mean, I should have really probably gone to the left-hand side that way. Just about there. Yeah, because that would have given me more of an straight uphill part with less break. Good putt there. Yeah, you're probably going to need to make a few side hillers, I think. God, wind into the face again. So this might not be reachable with the wind where it has been. The first 2 times I played this, the wind was with and it was very easy. That's a good drive. That's about as good as you get because you want to try and get over towards the right hand side to make it as short as possible. Well, I don't think it's reachable. It's going to be 290? 270. That's a really long 3-wood into that wind. I mean, there's no way you can go for it because you're going to end up here, and that is a horrible recovery shot. Playing into a pin with the green is running away from you. So I think probably the safe shot is here. That's the shot that guarantees you a pretty easy pitch in. You put the ball here. Let's have a look at what it looks like. If I can put the ball here, and we'll see what the chip's like running up that green. Wind slope's going to move to the left. Let's see if we can see if I can get my swing going. It went further than I thought. Oof. All right. I think it'll be all right. Actually, let's just see if that's got a backstop on it. No, ran straight through it. All right, so that's, yeah, you probably definitely want to just lay it up if you got that sort of shot to give yourself a nice easy one. I mean, this is not bad because you're going straight up the green. There's very little slope. It runs away just past the pin. But if I think I probably kind of want to aim it there. It's going to take about 20% off. Actually, more than that, 25% off. Alright. It will roll out. Coming out of the rough, they roll out a mile. So allow for that when you're hitting those little pitch shots. So that's a good one. That leaves me a fairly simple birdie. Alright, so 5 under through 7. So pretty short off here. I mean, clearly short is the bad one. I mean, well, short or long is bad. If you go long, you've got an impossible chip shot back. Yeah, you're not going to be able to stop that coming down that slope. So you kind of I mean, you just got to hit it right. So going up 7, so we're going to lose about 2 and a bit yards. The wind is going to push it on. I can afford to hit that back slot, I think. I think I'm going to take just a touch off this, hit it a little bit higher, and just clench. Yeah, that's good. Yep. All right. So that sets us up for a good birdie chance. I should really just go back and cut out the whole of the first round, shouldn't I? All right. 6 under for 8. All right, wind behind. All right, so you can see again, you're going to hit this well down there. It's going to be a very reachable par 5. Quite go through it properly, but it's all right. Okay. All right, this is, I think, is a good one. If you can land it here, that's going to get pretty close. That window, 11 yards. All right, let's try this. I aim it there. Let's see if we can use the slope to get it very close. Oh, pulled it. Not by much. God, that went way right, given the swing path was actually all right. It's going to be okay. It's going to give us a putt for the eagle. Yep. Quite a bit left to right. Ooh. Just caught the right edge. 8 under out. Okay. This is the one where I think, yeah, you could go with the driver, but I mean, it's probably not a bad play. You're going to end up in the back of there. But I do feel that then with the bad shot, it brings all the water in. I don't know. With a wind like that, yeah, let's go with the driver there. Let the wind push a little bit and use all these slopes to bring it back. Yeah, cleared everything, which I don't think it's going to stop on the green. I mean, it's not too bad. Just going to run off. Yeah. So that's going to leave us, a longish chip. It's up 2 yards, and again, do not go long. Everything's running away from you. This is not one to go long on it. Oh my God, that was so nervy. But, hey, not a good result. Okay, again, I'm going to hit this out that bunker. The wind's going to move it, and then when it lands, the slope will turn it to the right as well. Unless you completely miss-hit it. In which case, you lay up nicely. I was not going to turn that over into the water, I can tell you. Alright, wow, yeah. So you got that ridge there. The ridge, you got a bit of a backstop, so that's not so bad. I'm going to go with that. The wind will push it slightly long, but then it will stop it. I mean, the big miss is to go right at the pin, so hopefully I can hit it out there. Yeah, coming in. It's just going to be to the right, to the left of the hole. That's okay. I could have been more aggressive. Yeah. This gives me a chance for the birdie, going to the right, you're dead. Oh my god. Alright, I thought that was in. I think this is a course we can get a fair amount of those. Right, so I think this is probably the toughest pin position because it's just so front to that, so close to that drop off. You're going to gain about 7 yards on your shot, but like, you know, that wind's taking a ton off. I think depends on the wind, but like, you just got to make sure you get it on the green. Okay, that's pretty good. Pulled it a touch. Perfect length though. Absolutely perfect length that was. Gives me another birdie chance. All running away from you and a lot of break. Oh. Alright, that's two on the shot, which very easily could have gone in. So, par 5, into the wind. Actually, I haven't played this into the wind, so it'll be interesting. Will it clear this hump? Let's see what we can do. I definitely don't think you should be laying up there, because you've got to have a crack at this. Pulled it, just a touch. Yeah, it's just going to land into it. So when the wind's in your face, these par 5s are no joke. I mean, I've got a chance for the green. Don't miss it right, I think it's the obvious. I mean, this is tough because this hump here is going to kill anything that lands on it. You could just aim to put it into this air and leave yourself a putt down the green. I don't know, it's the problem with that is it's all running away from you at that point. If you go for the pin, try and get as close to this pin. I think it's nigh on impossible because you've got to. If you land it just over that hump, the slope's going to kick it away, you know, past the hole. Then it hits the slope past it and it's gone. You could try and use the slope to bring it in. That's probably the play, is to try and land it here, going right to left. But I just feel it's going to hit that slope behind the hole. You almost would need to fly it all the way and stop it dead. That's the only way to get this really close. Let's see what it does. I think the wind is too strong with like it is. It's going to mean it's going to pitch about here at best. So if I aim there, it probably hit there, and hopefully it'll run on enough to leave himself a straight-ish putt all the way down the fairway. All the fairway, the green. Yeah, didn't get through it. That's a bad miss. Interesting one to see how you play this one though. Okay, not too bad. I mean, you can pitch it probably about here and it's going to run, and it is pushing away from the ridge a little bit, but yeah, this is not easy. Okay, just take the slope, come back left to right, come on, come on, come on. All right, snip that one. There you go, it was an easy birdie. I knew it was all the way. All right. And you can see on this one now, that bunker doesn't come into play. You're just blasting it down there, and ideally leave it in the fairway or light rough. It's going to kick to the right off that ridge. I mean, that's probably the right side to land on that ridge, so it kicks you forward towards the pin rather than down and away, but it's close enough, it doesn't matter. But in between clubs, this, I think I'm going to go with like pitch, an 88 pitch. The wind will help it a bit. There is a touch, it is touch into an uphill. Yeah, I think this is probably the shot. Just a little bit worried it's going to run too far, but let's see. Yeah, it's just going to run just a touch too far. So you want a little bit of check on that. I mean, this leaves a very makeable part there. Lot of break again. You know, I'll say this again on this course. You're going to get a lot of these 10-footers where you're aiming well outside the hole. Just see if you can imagine where the apex is the important thing on these sort of putts. Yeah, there you go. So that's exactly what I'm sort of imagining, trying to get it where it hits and then the slope takes it. That's what I'm really looking for with those sort of putts. And then I'm just hitting towards that apex point. So this one, yeah, this is the one where last time we laid up with and it left a very long shot into the green. So I think, you know, the ideal is to put it here. Very easy to end up in this left rough. Quite a bit, yeah. Here's a thought. Why don't we just go over here? Fuck it. That looks like that could be the mega brain. Unless you completely push it. Even that's going to be okay. Uphill, so fly a bit shorter. Yeah, that actually is the play, I think. Go all the way to the right, and you're always going to be playing all the way up the green then, which is a much easier shot. So I'm going to lose about 3 yards from the elevation, a little bit from the wind. I think this is probably the right club though. Actually, it's uphill lie though. So give it a touch more, because it will fly higher. Sorry, just getting my nerves under control. Alright, drew it a little bit, so it's not going to come back. But yeah, I think that's definitely the play on this hole, because it makes it a much easier shot in. 1 foot down, and it's obviously dropping away a lot at the end, given it's only 5 inches down at that point. Alright, I'm going to not take off as much as I would do normally. Let's see. Accelerating. Boom. Alright. I clearly just needed one practice round to get into this. Alright, so down 12 is going to add on 4 yards, slightly into the wind. I think this is probably a good club for me. Ooh, it's come up short. Needed just a little bit more. It's not bad though with the rollout. Pretty straight putt off the left edge. Alright. I guess it's the 13 under. And that's what I mean. I think there could well be some really low scores. This one, I can get it pretty close to the green off this tee with that wind behind. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, I think there'll be some, like, you know, 13, 14, 15 under par, under rounds. But I think the average, probably 8 to 10. Just went right a bit. It's going to kick in, I think. Yep. That's going to get very close. Yeah, front tee, I mean, that's pretty makeable. Big slope to go up there. Big slope. Alright. Yeah, I mean, it's the only challenge with this is you're leaving so short. And I don't know about you, but I struggle a bit with those shots. It's a bit long. We'll come back. Come on. You know what, I mean, it's a pretty straight part. Quite a bit of slope in front of the hole, but at that point, it's either in or it's not. All right. Last hole. That bunker is very much in play if you go a little bit to the right. So I think aim down the left edge. With that wind coming in there, could be perfect. Hit the draw. Did I overdo it? Yes, a little bit, but it looks like it's light rough. That's okay. Definitely take that. Alright, looks flat lie, I think. That's, again, this is a tough hole because of all the slopes. I mean, the pin here, even that, you got the drop off. That pin there is a real bugger. Okay. I don't want to go long because that basically is dead. I'm going to lose 5% from the lie and a little bit from the wind and a little bit from that. Alright. So I can give it a little bit extra. Just to see if I can get it to land on the top of the slope. Wow, that turned a lot. Okay. Alright. No glory on the final hole. Okay. I mean, safe though. No, didn't turn in as much as I thought. Alright. 2-putt par. Boom. So you go. That's the course that you're playing this week in the Challenge Circuit. 94% green to rave, not bad. I think that means I missed one. Something like that. Oh yeah, I chipped in once, didn't I? There's the scorecard. Yeah, front tee's very scoreable. Back tee's tougher. But yeah, even though I think I scored what I scored, I only scored 300 off the back tees, missed a lot of putts. Missed and wasn't hitting the ball that well. I think for me, I think if you got one of the first 2 rounds or one of the rounds off the back tees, you're looking at that 6 to 8 under mark is where you want to be hitting. Front tees, you're probably 10 under plus. You know, you want to go low. The big challenge of this course depends on the wind. You know, strong winds into your face on the par 5s will make them very long, probably take them out of range. Favourable winds, all of the par 5s are reachable, and that's where you're going to make your score. The greens, that's probably the biggest challenge. At 171 default, that's fast. They are fast greens. They also have quite a lot of break on them. You saw from that round where, you know, I made a lot of putts. I also had a lot of putts that just missed, but it was just because there was so much break on them. So just maybe, yeah. I mean, you do a practice round, obviously, but just be prepared for those sort of fast breaking greens and see how you do. Good luck, and I'll see you next week for next week's. At some point, obviously, we're going to be moving over to PGA 2K25, which is coming out in Q1 of next year. We don't quite know the date yet. They didn't give an exact date, but it is coming out. So everything will migrate over to that. We'll see what happens with TGC Tours, whether that... I would hope it would all move over. I would hope, actually, my big hope would have been that they actually incorporated it into the game, because that would have been so awesome to have TGC Tours as an option within the actual game itself. Yeah, yeah, with some sort of deal between 2K and the actual people who are actually running it at the moment. But I hope that all the APIs stay the same and they can still do it because it's brilliant. It's great to have that cross-platform competition. It's great to have the leagues and the competition. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So catch you next week. Have a good one.